While researching for YouTube Shorts, I came across some Disney facts about presidents and the backstory of Disney parks and rides. And since my first day of recording is on President's Day, I can't think of a better time to put out this video. To me, it's funny to see people like Teddy Roosevelt in the same connected universe as Figment or the Hatbox Ghost. But come join me as we uncover Disney lore on some US presidents. We'll start with the first president to be featured in a Disney attraction, Abraham Lincoln. First appearing in the 1964 World's Fair in New York and later moving to Disneyland the following year, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln was a stage show featuring an animatronic of the 16th President of the United States. But even going back that far was not the first reference to Lincoln from Disney as a whole. Dating back a decade to 1954, the Abraham Lincoln was the whaling vessel that would hunt the Nautilus, which was the submarine from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. But Lincoln's reach isn't even confined to the United States. Hanging on one of the walls of the French version of the Haunted Mansion Phantom Manor is a picture of Lincoln. Spanning both coasts, two continents, and a reference on the silver screen, Abraham Lincoln has deep ties to Disney and the parks. But he isn't the only president to have roots in Disney lore. Lincoln is joined by his Mount Rushmore brother and Teddy Roosevelt, with having his likeness in the background of Disney films. In the 2001 film Atlantis: The Lost Empire, billionaire Preston B. Whitmore entrusts the 26th president with observing his Atlantean crystal. But Roosevelt doesn't just have ties to Atlantis, but also to Indiana Jones. He appears in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles and is referenced by Jack Lindsay in Jack Lindsay's Hangar Bar in Disney Springs. For old school Disney goers, you may remember Pleasure Island when Disney Springs was called Downtown Disney. It had historical plaques featuring not only Teddy Roosevelt, but President William Howard Taft. And most recently on the silver screen, Teddy was referenced in the movie Up, where Charles Muntz mentioned he and the president have gone on safari together. Flying over to the West Coast at the Disneyland Hotel, Roosevelt shows up at the ever-popular Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar, where Trader Sam and President Roosevelt have two pictures together. One has the duo planning a trip to South America, where the other has a note to Sam saying, "Planning my next pit stop to your place, from TR." And rounding out Teddy's tenure in Disney lore is the Tower of Terror in Tokyo Disney Sea. Teddy Roosevelt is the name of a lounge on the sea deck of the steamship Columbia, which contains photos, artifacts, and artwork of Teddy Roosevelt and William Howard Taft. But perhaps most controversial is President Andrew Jackson, specifically his connection to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad spanning all parks. For a quick backstory for Thunder Mountain, legend goes that the trains are haunted by Native American spirits. In 1830, he signed something literally named the Indian Removal Bill, which was responsible for forcing indigenous people out of their homes. But not only Jackson, but one of his subordinates also has a role in Disney parks. Davy Crockett and fictitious Georgie Russell, who was a character on the Davy Crockett TV show, are both mentioned in Pecos Bill quick service restaurant. The Davy Crockett TV series has another mention, but this time in Disneyland Paris. Within Frontierland is a shop called Tobias Norton & Sons Frontier Traders. Tobias Norton was a fictional character who was a lieutenant under Andrew Jackson. Heading back stateside, Andrew Jackson and Davy Crockett would sometimes appear in Fort Wilderness, sitting at a desk talking to each other. Jackson also has ties to two of the most popular attractions in Disney. During the War of 1812, one of Jackson's allies was the pirate Jean Lafitte. In the Haunted Mansion comics, Lafitte is said to be friends with the mansion's owner, William Gracie. While in the 2003 film, Lafitte was said to be affiliated with Captain Ambrose Gracie, who built the manor. But an actual connection is the clothes worn by Jackson in Fort Wilderness are now hanging in the attic scene near Constance Hatchaway. Lafitte is also mentioned in Pirates of the Caribbean. Disneyland in particular leans into the connection to Jean Lafitte. In between the Royal Street Gallery and the Blue Bayou of New Orleans is a rustic dock with Lafitte's Landing written on it. That'll do it for this episode. This was kind of a random topic, but when I came across some of these articles, I went down a rabbit hole and thought this might be a good idea for a video. Usually weird topics don't do well with the algorithm, but give me some feedback and let me know if you want to see more videos like this. But until next time, drop a like if you enjoyed this, subscribe if I earned it, and thank you for watching.